which are bolted to holes in here, and I've got a stainless steel bracket that I mounted the CDI on. I'm just going to give that a wipe so it looks nice and shiny again. You've got to accept that petrol and oil gets everywhere on a Vespa. Right, all I need to do now is find the screws. That's one. And that's the other one. So if I do these one at a time, just put the bottom one of the two in. I'll shift you along so you can see. Bottom one in. And the bottom one in there. What flat washer. Spring washer. And then a nut. With the name pointing outwards. I think that's on. And if I get my screwdriver and put the Phillips head on it. All holding the nut. Again, I'm only doing this finger tight, more or less. Right, that one's in. Next one. And again, through the hole. A nut and washer again. That way around. Flat washer. Spring washer. One nut, again with the writing facing outwards. I am going to go around and tighten all these afterwards. You've got to remember that it's sat on rubber bung there anyway, so it can have anti-vibration. And what I'm going to do just for the moment is just stick that spark plug on so it's out of the way. So what we got now is we've got our wiring. Whew, it's cold again today. So we've got our wiring and our covers, rubber covers to go on now. So I'm just going to stop shooting for 5 minutes, take a break, have a cup of tea and pop back with the wiring. Right, what we need now is our junction box cover where our cables go through. If you notice, it's got a plug that goes in through the engine. So our cables need to come through here, all of them. Like so. And get the last one through. Pull them all the way through. Put our plug in See that plug? Goes in the hole, which is there. I'll push that in place. And what I'll probably have to do is pull that stator cable back in, because poking it in, I don't know whether it's going to hit the flywheel. No, it's gone in all right. So basically on my system, I'll bring you up a bit. This here is your connectors for the 12 volt DC. And then we've got our cables that go through this, whatever I've done with it now. The cat. Come on, where are you? Done my usual. Oh, it's on top of the engine. Alright, this part here, they all feed through. It's a bit of a faff because of how it's concertinaed up. And we also need this green from the loom. That's the one that turns the engine off. Again, I don't know if to get a chair in or what. Let me stop for a minute, I'll get something to sit on. Put you down so you can see what's going on. As I was saying, that's our 12 volts. Both of them cables are 12 volts. And then we need to just get all our cables that are left through there. A pair of pliers will probably help. That's one. Two. That one on that side's cool. I'll poke them all the way through. The red one's playing silly buggers with me, but I can grab it with the pliers, and that's through. So all of the cables from the stator to the CDI are through. White, red and green. Now we just need to get this last green through from the wiring loom. So again, we'll stick that through, worm its way along, and then pull it through. It's at the end there, so I'll just get the pliers on that again and pull that one through. And the way I always wire these is this one, which is the ignition, I always put on the first one there. So the green, then the green from the loom, which is that one, is the next one in. That goes in the next connector beside the green. So you've got two greens together there, like so. The next one then is the red one, and nearest to HT is the white one, like so. Make sure they're nice and tight, because you don't want any problems with ignition. What I tend to do is just make sure, push them with your fingers as hard as you can get them. This one here can just go to the body. You don't actually need that. You can cut that wire off if you want. It's just an extra earth. But we'll stick it on for the time being. Or we're just showing what needs to go to where. Right, So this black cap now needs to go over all them cables, and it should push on relatively easy. Then all we need to do is then dress all these cables in. Like so. You're better off to bring the solid colour, like that green, straight through the edge there. That's it. I don't know if you can actually see that. What I'm basically doing is dressing the cables in so that this cap will go straight down then. And you don't want to catch it on any of the screws or whatever. That should push in a bit further than that. I'll push that around the edge again. I could actually cut that cover down, which is what I'm going to do. I've got a little pair of scissors on the Swiss Army knife. I'm just going to cut the sheathing down a bit. A little bit more than that. Just making it neat. That's better anyway. What I'm trying to achieve is the block itself goes to the right hand side, or closest to you. These wires are round, and these wires away from the screw. There's a screw that goes in there. You don't want to catch these wires on that, and then close it up like so. That's better. And stick that cover on there, and if you stick that cover over there, that should hold it closed while we get the screw in, like so. Long M5 countersunk goes in the middle of that and holds the lid together, and then we've got a nice wiring loom all done. There she goes, and again, don't over tighten that one. That will do. That's our lid on, our cover's on, all our cables are in. What we can actually do is turn the ignition on, kick the bike over, and we should see a spark. I've got a spark plug spanner in that socket set, so I'll take the spark plug out. I think it's only hand screwed in anyway, because we've got more wiring to do here yet. Yeah, it was only hand tightened. Before I actually kick it, I just need to make sure the battery terminals on the other side are clear. In fact, I can leave it down below, can't I? Anywhere really where it holds. Make sure the battery terminals are not touching, they're not. Brilliant. If I give that a kick when I turn it on, we should have a spark. I'm not actually seeing a spark there. I don't know if it is. Yes, it is. There you go. So we have got a spark. I'll just put that in lightly for the time being. And then the next on the list is the wiring that's at the front here, that I tucked around the choke lever. If I'll move you up the front again. That's my seating. I'll explain what I've got on this end. So let's drag our light down to here. And what I've got is on here, I don't know if my knee's in the way, bring you up a bit. On this cable, the HT, we wrap around this red cable. And what that does is every time it fires, it sends a pulse up to my Speedo. So every 2 revolutions is 1 spark. So we know if, or the Speedo knows, I should say, not me. The Speedo knows to calculate that the spark, 1 spark is 2 revolutions of the engine. So it's 1 round, fire, fire. Or is that wrong? Well, anyway, whatever, it works out how many times it fires, and then that's what gives you your revolutions per minute. So with the red one, I'll tidy that up again, and all you need to do basically is we'll put the other one on first, which is the temperature sensor. So that looks like that, like a washer, and that goes on where the spark plug is. Right, so what I suggest we do is just take off this first washer on here, so it means just holding the washer on the spark plug and unscrewing it. So I've got a big enough set of pliers. They either unscrew straight away or they're an absolute pig to get off. There's never an in-between with them. Put it down for a sec. In fact, let me cut away and take the washer off.